aren't keen on the name, but I think the name's fine because one, every Star Wars name is stupid. Like they all suck. Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. Who doesn't think of Send in the Clowns? Who doesn't think of Invisible Dennis the Menace when they think of Phantom Menace? Even Empire Strikes Back sucks. By title anyway, the movie is fucking superb. Like if this movie was called The First Order Strikes Back, no. Everyone would be like, fuck that stupid title. The First Order Strikes Back is no better than Empire Strikes Back. But The Rise of Skywalker at least gives you that, how the fuck? And how the fuck can the fuck? And so I enjoy that because that's part of the Star Wars experience is theorizing like, how is this possible? What's going on? So I kind of get that with the title. And I also understand a lot of this shit's gonna be like fan bait service because everything in episode 9 is gonna be reactionary, right? Like just like The Force Awakens was reactionary to Star Wars before The Force Awakens, where it was like the prequels came out and a lot of fans were like, fuck the prequels. So Abrams was like, hey, The Force Awakens, I remember Star Wars before the prequels, come back. So now episode 8 came out and Abrams is gonna be like, hey, I remember anything before episode 8, come back, say, look at all the fan service. Star Wars as we knew Star Wars, it's no longer Star Wars. It's not gonna be that anymore, but I can at least have fun with what it might be. This is how I am though. I just kind of roll with life. Like I would love to go back to a time where I'm a kid again, don't have any responsibilities and I don't pay taxes, but that's not the reality I live in. I live in this reality, so I just press forward enjoying this reality. So I'll try to press forward enjoying episode 9, but that's not really what this is about. This is about the Palpatine thing. The Palpatine thing is when I heard it in the trailer, even when I was talking about it in my video, I was like, it's not gonna be in the movie. It's gonna be like a vision or something like that. They're just doing that to hook people. And then people in my comment section were like, no, like at Star Wars Celebration, Ian McDiarmid came out and I guess Abrams said Palpatine's gonna be in the movie, like as Palpatine, implying not just a vision, but like the guy. I don't like that. Just simply put, I just don't like that. I don't like anything about that. Because everything about Palpatine being in episode 9 as Palpatine just minimizes Palpatine and everyone around him. Like everything that happened, it just minimizes all of it. Like Star Wars is no stranger to death retcons. Darth Maul, Boba Fett, but I understand those. Boba Fett was pretty sweet and he got the stupidest death ever, so I kind of get it. The thing I miss most about Boba Fett being alive now is the fact that I can't say the stupidest deaths in movies are someone being Boba Fetted, because I guess he's alive. So I call it washed now, because that was dumb too. So I get that. Darth Maul was a prop. Darth Maul was just a prop for a fight in Phantom Menace. But what was the guy behind all that? What was the guy behind the animal? And they kind of delved into that in the series, and I do like that about Darth Maul. There was more to tell there than what we got, but Palpatine, there's not. We saw the guy's life, we saw the guy rule, we saw the guy die, we saw him get murdered by his apprentice. A fine death, to be sure. Any Spartan would jerk off to that death, because that's a good death. Anakin turned good, threw Palpatine down the thing and killed him, but no, I guess he's alive? This is all hypothetically if he's alive, if he's not some Force vision or something. There's a lawnmower going. If you can hear that, I apologize. It's spring. It happens. Palpatine's story's done. We saw him rise, we saw him fall, we saw him die, and it's done. Bow on top. What makes Palpatine great is that there was nothing written. There's no prophecy about the guy. If I say anything in this video where someone's like, well, in the books, in the extended lore, fuck off with that shit. I mean, I don't mean to be mean. You could stay. But I'm saying I don't give a shit because I just stick to the movies at this point. Other than the Darth Maul thing, Darth Maul coming back, I was intrigued and I looked into it and I liked it. I liked what I found. And I think the movies in the lore should stick to the movies. You shouldn't have to go outside the movies to get everything happening in the movies. So that being said, Palpatine, there was nothing written, no prophecy that was like, oh, this guy is going to avenge the Sith and take over the galaxy. No, there was just this rule of two thing and he was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna rule it all. Fuck it. And that makes him cool, but like, why is he the guy if he's in this movie? Why isn't it like Darth Bane? He seemed like he was a pretty big deal. Why isn't he the guy coming back? Darth Bane could be like, you already met my father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. How useless was he? Now I have come back. But I don't get why Palpatine? And the reason is because it's his fan service. People love Palpatine and he's been in all the other sagas. He was in the prequels, original trilogy, and I guess now he's in this. And there is the argument after Palpatine told Anakin that Darth Plagueis learned how to cheat death. He said he taught his apprentice everything he knew, implying that he was the apprentice. And even after that, after Palpatine implied to Anakin he knew how to cheat death, he then blatantly told Anakin, well, I don't actually know. Only one knew. It was Darth Plagueis. But I'm sure if we work together, we can discover the secret. Translation, I don't fucking know. And if he did know, what did Plagueis teach him how to come back from being vaporized? Because let's face it, he was fucking vaporized. There's also the argument and the possibility, the theory that he could be a Force ghost, which I'm not gonna lie, that kind of flies in the face of the whole good guys get Force ghosts but bad guys don't thing. I know in extended lore, cartoons, books, animations, whatever, crazier things have happened than bad guys coming back in one way, shape, or form. But at least, and this is my personal thing, I totally get that, but in my head canon, I've always been able to be like, yeah, but in the movies, good guys get Force ghosts, bad guys do not. And that totally makes sense to me because bad guys are all about, you know, the here and now. The dark side's all about the gratification of the here and now in this life. You get all this wonderful power and Force lightning now, but when you die, you don't get to live on as a Force ghost. Whereas if you're a good guy living a, let's face it, more boring life, after you die, you do get to live on as a Force ghost. I like that dynamic, and no matter what anything else has done, I've always been able to be like, hey, in the movies, that's how that is. And now I might not be able to. That sucks for me. But if he comes back as a Force ghost, who is he coming back to? That's the question. I imagine it would be Kylo Ren. I know naturally it's like, is Rey his granddaughter or whatever, but I imagine it would be Kylo Ren because it's like, I knew your grandfather. We did great things together. Come with me, boy. Which also makes me think, like, they're bringing Palpatine back because Snoke died. I feel like whatever Palpatine does in this one to whisper into Kylo Ren's ear, that would have been Snoke. But Rian Johnson killed him, so now we need Palpatine back. We need someone to whisper the dark side into his ear. Might as well be someone we know, because it can't be someone new. You can't just bring in some new bad guy. And Kylo Ren, even Darth Vader, the bad guy I root for, is most interesting when he has someone over here pulling him to the dark side and someone over here pulling him to the light side. You can't get that now because Snoke died. Oh my god. Last Jedi really fucked shit up, didn't it? But really, my point to all of it is, I don't want him to come back because there's something wonderful about just a period at the end of it. Closing the book, saying, hey, that chapter's done. That bad guy was defeated. My concern is if you bring the big evil from the previous Star Wars saga, in fact, the previous 2 Star Wars sagas, the 2 trilogies, the previous 6 movies, you bring the big evil back for this trilogy, then there will never be a feeling of closure. Because he was defeated before, he was taken down. So if he, or whatever evil, he, Kylo Ren, whoever, is taken down this time, then we'll doubt it. We'll never feel like, oh yeah, they were defeated. You'll always feel like, well, they'll be back next time, possibly. And we need that feeling of closure and fulfillment. Bringing them back might actually compromise that. And who knows, in execution, they might just pull it off. It might be amazing. But as for right now, it kind of seems like a TV show that had a great first couple seasons. Then as the show went on, the quality started to decline. So in the later seasons, when it's in its dip, they bring a character back from the earlier seasons that fans really love to be like, hey, see, we got that thing you really love, that character, we're still cool. Really gives the illusion of quality when in reality it's just giving people familiarity, or at least someone they love. Kind of feels like that right now. Alright, so those are my thoughts on Palpatine possibly coming back as a Vision, Force Ghost, clone, or him in the physical because he lived through vaporization. What do you think? How do you think he's gonna come back? And do you think he's gonna come back at all? And do you think he should? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.